Yo, what's going on, dudes? Welcome to a new video of Dragon Ball FighterZ. My name is Ventus and hope you guys are having a wonderful day. In this video, we are talking about Goku Black and how to instantly become a god with him. By the end of this video, you are going to be able to use Goku Black like a god. Alright, so the first step to becoming good with Goku Black is understanding what all of his moves do and how to use those moves effectively in an actual match. So let's go down the move list really quick and we can talk about what the moves do and how to use them. Alright, so the first move on his list is called Gawd Slicer, and that's going to be a quarter circle forward, light, medium, or heavy. Just a note, when you use the heavy version of this attack, you're going to burn a bar of your meter. I don't personally suggest using this heavy version because I think that in a game like this, you need to save your meter bars because they are used for something much more important, which is calling in your assist to do combo ults and stuff like that. But definitely if your opponent is super weak and you think that they will get killed by doing it with the heavy version, go ahead and do it by all means, but I don't suggest using it. The light and medium versions are everything that you need. Now what's really cool about the Gawd Slicer is that you can do this move in the air. And I think that's like the most useful tool that Goku Black has, is doing this move in the air, because I use it to extend combos. Alright, so first I'll show you the naked versions of these attacks, the light, medium, and heavy versions. And the medium and heavy version, they have like a little special thing about them. Okay, so this is the light version. Only does about 970 damage. This is the medium version. There's a little bit more animation there. You see him go a little bit higher and he travels a little bit faster and does more damage, 1330. And then this is the meter burn version of it. Alright, naked does 1330, but it burns a meter. I honestly don't know the difference, like what's going on here. 1330, 480, and then the heavy version, literally the same thing. Literally the same thing. Alright, so I don't know why you would burn a bar of meter doing the heavy version. Alright, so what's really cool about doing the medium and heavy version is look what happens to Goku after you're done. He's on the ground, helpless, can't do anything. Alright, the heavy version, on the ground, helpless, can't do a thing. When they're on the ground like that and their legs are up, that means they are open, wide open to an attack, like an ultimate attack. So we'll see this, and you can go right into the Divine Lasso. Alright, but we'll talk about that later and how to get into ultimate attacks, but I thought it was just good to note that right here. Now, I usually don't use a naked Gawd Slicer, like ever. Whenever I use the Gawd Slicer, I do it either before a combo or after a combo. I usually just do not ever do a naked Gawd Slicer. But then again, if your opponent is just sitting there doing nothing and you know that you could probably hit him with this naked Gawd Slicer, the medium version or the heavy version, and you can go into a special attack after that, by all means go ahead and do it. Alright, so the way that I actually do use the Gawd Slicer is a lot of the times I'll use the light version and the medium version in an aerial series combo. Now, I'll show you the aerial series combo right here, and if you don't know it, it can be kind of tricky, so I suggest going into practice mode and trying to learn it until you have it down to a fine science. But if you don't know the aerial combo, I'll show it to you right now. Okay, so those are the versions of the aerial combo when Goku is pressed up against the wall, when your opponent's against the wall, and that's pretty much where most of these fights are going to take place. However, there is a way to do it in the middle of the ring, or the middle of the fighting stage, but most of the time you're going to be fighting in a corner anyway, and this is where this move really shines. Alright, so what I had to do to learn how to get the Gawd Slicer in the end of an aerial combo like that is I really had to stop and think about what I was doing, and in a sense, I guess you could say I would close my eyes and think about the buttons that I'm pressing. Alright, so to do the aerial combo, you're going to have to press a quarter circle forward, light, medium, or heavy. Alright, quarter circle forward, light, medium, or heavy. I would suggest just using light and medium, like I said. And to do that at the end of a combo, the aerial combo can be a little bit tricky in learning the timing. So I'll do it again and slow it down and really go into detail about the timing and when you're supposed to really do this move. Crouching medium, standing medium, 9, light attack, medium attack, quarter circle forward, medium attack. Alright, and now I'll just do it again and put it into PS4 terms for all my PlayStation users. Down in triangle, triangle, up and forward, square, triangle, quarter circle, forward, triangle. Just that simple. It has to be boom, 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 one after another. I can't stress that enough. All right, now if you want to get a little bit more technical, you saw that I add a key blast in before I do the God Slicer, and that's just pressing X in the air. That's what pressing X in the air allows Goku Black to do that. Now, when you do that after the aerial combo, you go right into the God Slicer, so it has to be pretty flawless. So basically, when I learned how to do it, when I was teaching myself how to do it, is it's all like one motion right after another. There's no pause in between pretty much anything. So it's just you go from the aerial combo right into the key blast, right into the God Slicer. Just almost think about it like this. If you've ever played Ninja Storm or any game where you have to press X, square, circle, that's if you're using PlayStation. I don't know what the buttons are on Xbox. I think they use like letters. But if you think about it in terms of that, then you're going to be golden. That's how I had to fix it in my mind. That might be how it has to work for you. You might think of a different way to do it. But I think of it in terms of the button inputs, whereas the timing has to be perfect, and it's just I have to press X, square, and circle at this point in time or whatever like that. That's not necessarily the buttons that you press, but that's the way Okay, so here's a version of the aerial combo with the key blast right before the God Slicer. Everything has to be very quick, one after another, so you got to know what you're doing before you go in there. I'll put it into PlayStation terms. Square, square, down triangle, triangle, up forward, square, triangle, up forward, square, triangle, X, quarter circle forward, triangle. It has to be just that quick. Right after you hit that triangle, go right into the X. So that second square triangle that you do after the aerial combo, or it can be the first aerial combo, square triangle X, square triangle X, square triangle X, just that quick. Square triangle X, quarter circle forward, triangle. Alright, so the next move on Goku Black's list is called Instant Transmission. And basically it's going to be a quarter circle back, light, medium, or heavy. The heavy version of this skill burns a meter, but it's absolutely okay because it does something really cool. The light and medium versions also do their own different specific things. Let's get right into it. Alright, so the light version of this attack or this skill teleports you towards your opponent. So I'm going to go all the way back here and hit the light version. Instant transmission right in his face. So it's really good at covering distance, all right? The medium version, likewise, is going to do the complete opposite. It's going to get you away from your opponent, give you a little bit of distance and breathing room, all right? So the way that I use instant transmission, I don't too much use the light version a whole lot. Like, I don't really use it that much at all. What I use is the medium version, and I use it to basically get out of the way, all right? So that's what I use. I use it as pretty much an escape. And I use it like that when I'm fighting an opponent and they're doing a considerable amount of blocking, which is really relevant because a lot of people do block a lot in this game, which is not a bad thing. It's, you know, how you survive. Now, I use this as a way to open my opponent up. And what I'll do a lot of the times is I will use the medium version of the instant transmission, and then I'll go right into the Fierce God kick. All right, and the Fierce God kick, just really quickly, it's going to be a quarter circle, back, light, medium, or heavy. Okay. So basically, that's what I do. That's how I use it. But you know, you might want to use it a different way. Like the light version, definitely it's a naked teleport and it covers distance. It makes it to where, you know, you're not going to be so vulnerable when you're trying to travel. I know a lot of the times I'll use the super dash if I'm trying to really get next to my opponent, and that is punishable a lot of the times. This way, there's no punish. No punish. Now, the really cool version of this skill, I was going to call an attack, is the meter burn version, and that teleports you directly on the other side of your opponent, and that is absolutely amazing, and it's totally worth the meter burn to catch your opponent off guard, because like I said, if you got your opponent and they are blocking and doing a lot of blocking, you can definitely just get behind them and surprise them like, hey, I'm behind you now. And a lot of the times if a person is blocking one way, they are not going to instantly block the other way unless they are like some seasoned, like purple card, pink card veterans or something like that. So the average person, they're probably 9 times out of 10 going to be caught off guard by the meter burn version of instant transmission. Okay, so the next move on Goku Black's list is called Fierce God Kick, and it's going to be a quarter circle back, light, medium, or heavy. The heavy version of this attack will burn a bar of meter. Now, what's really cool about this skill is that it can only be done in the air. If you try to do it on the ground, you're just going to do instant transmission. Now, I do not suggest ever doing this move naked. However, if you do the naked version of the medium and heavy versions, you do get a little bit of a benefit. But just for a FYI reference, this move will not reach from across the map with the light or medium version. So this is the light version from across the map. No, doesn't work. Medium version will not hit. Okay, heavy version, you'll have a little bit of yeah, I mean. Nah, that's the heavy version, and it doesn't even. You have to be kind of close to your opponent. So this is like a mid-range attack. All right, so like I said, I don't really suggest using this move naked. I always have something before it or after it. Like I said, I use it with instant transmission to open your opponent up. So I will do one of these, yeah, means. All right. And then if you're going to do it naked with the medium version or the heavy version. Probably with the medium version because you've used the heavy version. The benefits of using it naked kind of go out the window. So using it naked puts your opponent in frames of can't do anything if you do get the a chance to hit him. So let's show you the naked medium. All right, so there it is. And you see Goku. He is wide open for Divine Lasso or any other attack. He's wide open. The same thing will happen for the heavy version. Now, I guess the benefit with the heavy version is they're stunned for a little bit longer time and that might do a little bit more damage. So let's look at the damage real quick. So this is the medium version of it, 1120, and then this is the heavy version of it, 1300. So yeah, definitely a little bit more advantage to using the naked heavy version, but it burns the bar meter. But if you're using the naked heavy version, you're probably going to do something behind it, like an ultimate attack or something like that. So I probably would just suggest using the medium version of this attack. All right. Now, what's really cool about this Fierce God Kick is that you can use it in the middle of the aerial combo, just like the God Slicer, but you have to use it a little bit differently. But learning it will be pretty much the same. Like I said earlier, when doing these button inputs, I stopped thinking of it in terms of a fighting game. I started thinking of it in terms of button inputs. And I've never really played Guitar Hero, but I can only imagine that Guitar Hero is a certain same thing. You just got to press the buttons at the right time. So when you get the aerial combo series down, the timing has to be completely flawless. Like it has to be like you're up in the air, light, medium, light, medium. Right after that, light, medium, you go into the Fierce God Kick. All right, so the way that I do the Fierce God Kick in my combos, and I think you should probably learn how to do them too, is I do a Ki Blast right before I go into the Fierce God Kick, and I'll show you some examples of that. Now, what I literally had to do when learning how to do this is I had to think about what I was doing. I had to think about the buttons I was pressing and when I was pressing them. So when I would do the aerial series combo, I would take my opponent up, and then as I'm doing these punches and kicks, these alternating lights and mediums, I'm thinking about, okay, when my opponent gets there, I have to throw that Ki Blast, and then right after Ki Blast, press whatever button. So I'm thinking myself, I'm going, okay, square, triangle, X, quarter circle, and then light. Square, triangle, X, quarter circle, heavy. That's the way that I'm thinking of it in my mind. All right, so that may work for you. It may not work for you, but that's basically just how I did it. Basically, now, the reason why I add the Ki Blast in there for two reasons. The Ki Blast looks really cool, and when you throw the Ki Blast in there, it makes people think that you actually know what you're doing. So it kind of gives you the illusion that you're a lot better than maybe you are. I mean, let's just be real with it. All right, and also too is this. I've noticed that the medium and light versions of the Fierce God Kick tend to connect better after a Ki Blast. So if I'm doing the aerial series combo, it's kind of hard for me to do the without the Ki Blast. Alright, so that's just kind of a janked version. That's the medium version. The light version kind of connects. Alright, and then the heavy version, that heavy version is always going to connect no matter what. It's always going to connect no matter what. But definitely get into the practice of throwing that Ki Blast in there at the right time. So basically, it's you right after you press light medium, after that medium attack in the aerial series combo, go directly to X, and right after X, go directly into the quarter circle backwards and light or medium or heavy if you want to. However, you don't need to use heavy with this, so light or medium. So I mean, it's got to be super flawless. It's got to be just one button right after another, no pause, no delay, nothing in between. Now, there's something also that's really cool with this, too, and it's a setup for one of Goku Black's, like, 72k damage combos, whatever like that. I'm never going to pull one of those 72k damage combos in an actual match, because actual matches happen faster than training, but there's something that you can do, and that I learned from my one of my mentors in this game, Senpai Shiki. It's basically, after you do the kick, you can move right back towards your target and kick them again and go back into it. Now, I'll show you an example a little bit after this, but I kind of want to explain it to you what you have to do. And it's really weird, and I know I may be doing this kind of jank, but it works. As soon as you get finished with the Fierce God kick, or actually in the middle of the Fierce God kick, like as he's doing it, I am spamming forward, like the dash forward button. So it looks sort of like this. Alright, slowing it down a little bit. Crouching medium, standing medium, 9, light, medium, 9, light, medium, X, quarter circle back, triangle or medium, spamming the button right, spamming it right now, and goes right back into it. Like, you're not pressing right as he's dashing, you're pressing dash before he dashes. So it's like as soon as you see your opponent get slammed up against the wall, you already want to start spamming toward, and then you want to go right into the medium kick, which is going to be triangle for PlayStation, and then X, and then right into the quarter circle back, and then medium attack again. It has to be all very fast, one after another. Eventually, you'll get the timing down. It's just like with anything in this game, it just takes practice. Alright, so this video is longer than what I thought it was going to be. I'm going to have to make a part 2. There's a lot to cover with Goku Black. I really love this character, and I want you guys to know as much as I do with Goku Black, especially you guys who've never picked him up before, or maybe you're just learning the game. So I'm definitely going to make a part 2, probably a part 3. I hope there's not going to be 3 parts. I don't want it to be that long. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn those notifications on so you don't miss the next video. So I guess I will be right back with part 2. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in a minute.